Good evening, Patricia. We'll start with part one. Do you work or study?
Well, I work. I run a company on my own, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. It's an education consultancy, and I'm really good at what I do.
Where do you live?
I stay in the suburbs of Chennai city. It's a beautiful neighborhood. It has all the amenities needed for modern day living, and I've been living there for around 2 years or so.
How do you commute from your place?
Well, though I can drive myself, I love to be chauffeured around. So I have an amazing husband who painfully takes me from point A to point B. So I travel with him.
What are the other ways to commute?
Chennai being a cosmopolitan city, we have quite a lot of options. Now with Ola, Uber rides, there are a host of options. There are also facilities where you can carpool with somebody. And the distance from my house to the office is barely 4 kilometers. So if I need to, I can even bicycle down to the place.
How did you go to school when you were a child?
Well, by foot. I enjoyed walking, enjoying all the sights and sounds, and just chatting along the way with my friends. It was something that I look forward to, and it was great physical exercise for me as well.
What do you enjoy doing on the way to school?
One of my favorite things to do was I would stop by a local food cart, and they used to sell candy and cut unripe mangoes sprinkled with salt and chili flakes. I used to stop by, purchase it, and munch them on the way to school.
Let's ask something about holidays. Do you think India has more public holidays?
Yes, undoubtedly so. Yes, of course. I guess we have around 15 public holidays, and it's something that we look forward to. And when you're working, the more the holidays, the merrier you are.
Which holiday you enjoy?
I look forward to the season of Christmas. It's a holiday that I particularly look forward to because it's my family. It's a time when my family and friends, we gather together, and there are a host of Christmas goodies and delicacies and sumptuous dinners and parties, gifts, etc.
What will you do on that particular day?
Well, church is one place that we definitely go to. That would be the first thing that you would actually do on that day. Then we usually do not cook at home on Christmas Day. So we usually take the family out to a buffet where we can savor some delicious dishes. Last time I went to the Park Hyatt, and I absolutely enjoyed the lavish spread of starters and desserts and various cuisines. It was mouth-watering. I'm looking forward to visiting the place sometime soon.
Do you think India should have more holidays?
Who would say no to holidays? Yes, I would be very happy if the government announces more holidays. And since I'm in business, I look forward to these holidays because I can always roll out an offer or a deal, and it's good for people to come on board, and it only serves to double up my business as well. So yes, I think holidays are a good thing for people.
Let's ask something about drinking water. Do you drink water often?
Yes, it's a habit that I've inculcated after experiencing a host of problems due to dehydration. So I keep a bottle of water handy, and I keep sipping on it throughout the day.
Do you prefer packaged water or tap water?
As a child, when I was growing up, it was all about tap water. We were not exposed to bottled water at all. But now, considering the contamination and the waterborne diseases that are prevalent, I stick safely to a can of Bisleri or Kinley water bottles.
Is packaged water expensive?
Yes, it is. But considering the health advantages that they have and prevention of diseases in mind, it's much better to spend money on water than pay it to the doctor.
Was there a time when you were really thirsty but couldn't find water nearby?
Yes, it happened on a trip to Bangalore. We were driving on the highway, and it had exhausted all the water cans that we were carrying, and for almost 5 kilometers at a stretch, my throat was absolutely parched because there was not a drop of water anywhere. I could not even stop by to ask somebody for water, and that's something that I would never forget.
Let's move on to dreams. Do you often get dreams?
Yes, I'm a dreamer. I mean, in the context, I'm a daydreamer, and my nights are always filled with the visions and dreams. It's something that I really enjoy.
How long can you remember your dream when you wake up?
Most of the times, I don't remember anything, but there are certain aspects or certain segments of the dream that I guess stand out, and they're pleasant memories.
Do you like hearing others dream?
Not really. I think people blabber a lot when they speak about their dreams. So, and I'm not a good listener either. So, no, it's not something that I would like to do.
Do you think dreams will affect life?
But, well, if there's something positive, it creates a lot of optimism, and there are positive vibes when you sense something happy or joyful. There are also events when you sense maybe it's clairvoyance or foresight that a higher power is probably trying to communicate something untoward that's going to happen.
Have you ever had a bad dream?
Rarely. I'm a happy person, so I really don't remember having a bad dream, or I've not had nightmares or hallucinations, or I always go to sleep in a state of stillness, and I'm pretty calm. I just relax myself into a good night's sleep.
What was the strangest dream you have ever had?
I guess this happened when I was in high school, and I had this dream where I was flying. I was flying, literally flying, but I was at the same time I was also riding on a horse, and this horse had wings. So it was like I was galloping over the mountains and the seas and the oceans, and I was having a whale of a time. So I think that's one of the best dreams that I've ever had.
What do you usually dream about?
Well, I dream about making money because it's very important to me. I love going on vacations. I love buying. I'm a shopaholic and a spendthrift. I love to splurge. I like to buy the expensive things. I have a fancy for the good things in life. So yes, I guess I dream about not exactly dreaming. It's like my mind is always scheming and plotting about what best can I do to build up the business, or what do I do to get ahead in life.
Let's move on to Q card. Describe a time you borrowed something from your family or friend. You have 1 minute time.
Well, it's pretty interesting that you asked me to speak about this. Well, I have a fascination for vintage clothes. I'm a kind of a person who likes to dress up. I always look forward for the best accessories, and for me, it's all about standing out in a crowd. I don't like to do the things that most people do. So when I'm dressing up to go to a party, or I like to make that grand entrance. I like to be the star. I enjoy the limelight. So there was this party that my husband and I were invited to, and it was a very close circle party. It was with friends that I'm meeting after quite a while. So I wanted to make a splash. So I was looking for the right outfit to wear for that day, and I simply could not come across something that was satisfactory to me. So I decided to ask my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law now, she's a doctor and she's a diva. She always dresses up very well, and she has some amazing dresses in her closet. So I have had my eye on a burgundy evening wear that is part of her wardrobe. But I was a little hesitant to ask her because she's been maintaining it, for quite a while. So I worked up the courage, and I knew she wouldn't say no. So I worked up the courage to ask her, and she was very gracious. She lent me that particular evening wear that I wanted. Unfortunately, though I did create quite an impact with wearing that dress, and she also gave me matching shoes, and she gave me a pendant, a ruby red pendant to go with that dress. I enjoyed the party. I had a grand gala time. People were complimenting me about my dress, and I almost stole the show that day. But just as I was about to step into the parlor for dinner, a person who was serving drinks that evening. I just asked him for a glass of cranberry juice, and he just comes across, and I just whirled around to see him, and he just spilt the entire glass of cranberry juice on that dress. I had to cut a very sorry figure in front of my mother-in-law, but eventually I made up for it. I made sure that the dress was dry cleaned and the stains were off. So that's the time when I borrowed something from a person.
Let's move on to part 3. Is it important for students to take a part-time job to avoid borrowing?
Absolutely, yes. It's something that every parent should inculcate in their children and encourage them to become independent. It will also teach them the value of money.
Do you motivate students to go to police job?
Why not? It's a wonderful way for them to understand how the society works. It gives them a sense of responsibility as well. Gives them a lot of appreciation and respect for law enforcement.
Is it important for a country to have law and order?
Very true. Where would we be without a proper system of law and proper authorities to implement rules and regulations? It's vital for the betterment.
To improve the law and order of your country?
I think corruption should be kept in check. People, especially police and other officials, should be more in sync with what people need, because nowadays most people look up to police and other officials with a lot of fear. So I think there should be schemes, etc., where we partner with them to do good for the society.
What is the best quality a policeman should have?
He should be able to evoke trust in the people that he's serving, because right now when you look at a person in authority, there is a sense of fear, because you never know what's going to happen next. So I think if they are able to build trust with the public, it would really change the perception of how we actually look at them.
Why nowadays crime is in the increasing trend?
Well, it could be due to the influence of television, unrestricted airing of violent content on television, and the general upbringing, because I believe children are no longer disciplined in the old-fashioned way, and we have become a little more lenient in allowing them to get away with a lot of things, and it does have a repercussion as they become adults and move into the society.
Which job do you consider as one of the challenging works?
Teaching, of course. A teacher's job is a thankless job, but they are the ones who lay the foundation for a person to build their lives. They're the givers of knowledge, and I think they should be far more respected and appreciated than any other profession.
Should the pay depend on the challenges in the work?
That would be really, really nice, and truly so. But in all circumstances, it's not so. Maybe a miner or a coal worker, maybe he's not paid as much as a doctor or an engineer is paid. But when you consider the risks that he takes, I think, yes, we should definitely factor that in when you're deciding how to pay a person.
What do you think about people who prefer challenging work and easy work?
That depends on the personality of the person. There are some who really like challenges, who are completely bored when you give them an easy task. These people go on to become leaders, pioneers, and inventors. The ones who prefer easy jobs are the ones who are, I guess, a little less ambitious, pretty content with what they have in life.
Will the challenges improve people's personal career?
Of course, yes. Whenever you face an obstacle, whenever you are pushed to the limit, it only brings out the best in you. So it's very important for people to take on challenges and not just settle or just slide back into an easy way of life.
Last question. Will the company be benefited because of its employees' challenging work?
How else will a company develop itself? I'm fairly certain that as long as the employees challenge themselves, everybody's personal growth contributes to the overall success of the organization. It's important for employees to be motivated, to be challenged, appreciated, rewarded, recognized for their outstanding performance.
Thank you, Patish.